Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we discuss the latest trends of the stock markets and also help all our viewers really understand the buzzing stocks, the sectors that are in focus today. Also, a strategy that all the investors must follow from here, which we will get from an expert. But first up, the market update at this point in time. Well, we're halfway through the trading session and we're still seeing subdued momentum as far as the markets go. The Sensex is down about 36 odd points at 61,588. The Nifty also hovering near that 18,324 mark, just hovering below that flat line right here. Also, when you talk about the various sectors of the markets right now, you can see a mixed trend, just like how yesterday was panning out. It's a similar trend that we are seeing from yesterday, although there's a difference that the IT stocks are seeing profit booking today. The stocks were up yesterday. Apart from this, we are also seeing some mixed reaction on the Nifty bank constituents. So the PSU banks are down in trade, the private banks are doing well in today's trading session. Realty stocks that were doing very well yesterday are again, seeing some profit booking. It's down by 0.7% odd. In fact, it's the lowermost index performing in trade today. Auto stocks, however, are inching higher. That's the index that you need to watch out for. Faster lane, 0.5% uptick for that one. In fact, it's one of the better performing indices in today's trading index. Also, when you talk about the other stocks and sectors, like, FMCG is not doing well as well. FMCG stocks are down by 0.5% in today's trading session. The pharma stocks are also down in trade. Perhaps the entire defensive pack is not doing well today. We are also seeing a divided trend as far as the advanced decline ratio is concerned. So you can see 24 stocks advancing to 26 stocks declining in trade. On the top gainer front, you have stocks like ONGC up in trade, 2.5% uptick for that one. Hero Motocorp, Ultratech Cement, Adani Ports. Those are the stocks that you need to watch out for. They're all up by over 2% in trade. Titan is shining bright too, 1.4% uptick for this one. What's not doing well is clearly some of the heavyweights like HDFC Life, Kotak Mahindra Bank. Grasim is not doing well, Tata Steel, ITC. So it's like one stock from each of the various sectors that are not doing well right here. Let's welcome our guest for today to understand, how does the market outlook look from here on. Mr. Kranti Batini joins in from WealthMills Securities. Welcome, sir, and thank you so much for taking the time out. Well, how do you see the markets panning out? We did speak to you last week when we were looking at markets inching towards those all-time high levels. It was a very, very sharp bounce that we had seen, and we were hoping that perhaps this week could turn out to be a great week as well. 2 days on, the markets are still, hovering near those levels, consolidating at a very, very range-bound level. How do you really see the markets panning out? Some more time we need to wait for those all-time high levels?
Sakshi, one thing is the good thing is happening in the market is currently after the last week, the swift rise we have witnessed in the market. Markets are in a consolidation phase right now. It's good for the health of the market. Markets are taking a small breather right now, okay, before forming any fresh highs going ahead. So it's good. We can see some kind of bottom fishing that's happening in selective stocks, and what we can see is as long as Nifty is above 18,300 level, that shows the near term, the trend of the market is in an upside. So nothing to worry. Okay, sit back, relax, and start doing the cherry picking of the stocks at this moment.
Okay, don't worry about these dips. In fact, it is a time to cherry pick some of your stocks as well. Let's talk about the stock that in fact has made its debut on the street today, Fusion Microfinance. That stock has entered the fray. It has listed, although on a discounted note. We did see a 2% kind of a discount for the listing of Fusion Microfinance, against the issue price of 368. We did see that the listing price on NSE was 359 and the listing price on BSE was 360 rupees odd. So Fusion Microfinance is in focus. I remember when we were speaking about this new IPO rush, Mr. Batini, you said that out of all of them, you wanted the investors to stay away from Fusion Microfinance, and we've actually seen the stock, not doing very well on the listing day, right? When we've seen the debut performance. Now, what do you suggest the investors to do? Those who have already got the allotment and those who may be looking at is as a fresh opportunity, what would you suggest?
So actually, I don't expect an immediate run up in this stock immediately right now because the space of the microfinance is becoming overcrowded. And what I can see is next couple of quarters, we need to see the performance of the company, uh, how they are going to increase their profitability and also how they are going to increase their margins. This is the crux I am going to observe in this company. So there is no hurry. I don't expect any kind of movement in this space because the space is becoming overcrowded with respect to the microfinance business is concerned. And also there are some overhang about the rising interest rate scenario right now. So I don't expect any kind of any great results immediately. Okay, for the investors who subscribe for the IPO, there might be a sudden spots that might be coming during the high days in the market. So
Mm-hmm.
that point of time they can come out of the stock. But
Okay.
immediately, I don't expect some uh, any fireworks are building euphoria in these kind of business models right now.
So you wouldn't advise new investors to really look at this opportunity after the listing?
Yeah, I suggest the investors wait for some time, look at the earnings of the company, let the company come up with the earnings, how they are going to increase their revenues. We need to at least wait for a couple of quarters to take any serious investment decision with respect to the fusion is concerned.
Okay, understood. So for all the investors who got the allotment, you could wait for some spurt or high days in the market when the stock price rises. Then you can actually look to book your profits. But other than that, no, advice right now for the investors, fresh investors, to really take a bet here. The microfinance space looks crowded at this point in time, so the stock may not be giving you any promising gains in the near future. So keep that in mind. Let's also now go across to my colleague Tanya Aneja, who's joining in with the list of buzzing stocks in trade today. Tanya, take it away.
Absolutely, Sakshi. Let's start with the top gainer on the National Stock Exchange, and that is ONGC. So the company reported 30% drop in its net profit for September quarter because of course, the windfall tax. However, the revenue was up over 57% during the quarter. And besides the number, the company has declared interim dividend at 6.75 rupees per equity share of face value of 5 rupees. So that is a big positive. But on the flip side, we have NMDC shares. The shares were trading lower in the session today. So, on the back of course, weak Q2 numbers, it reported a 62% drop in its net profit for the September quarter. And experts believe that the iron ore prices will remain under pressure and will not pick up as long as export duty on iron ore continues. And then, of course, IRCTC shares, they were also down in the trade today. Now, it is important to know that the company reported 43% jump in its net profit, and the
Mm-hmm.
revenue also zoomed over 99%. However, the experts believe that the numbers were below expectations. For Grasim Industries, shares were down over 2 odd percent today. It reported its earnings yesterday. We saw a 17% drop in its net profit. However, revenue was up over 22%. And lastly,
Okay.
Nika, the shares were down to the tune of 8% today. Now we
Mm-hmm.
caught up with some experts, and they believe that 212 to 216 rupees levels remain as a major resistance for the stock, and the selling pressure is likely to continue going forward as well. Back to you.
Okay. Thank you, Tanya, for giving us all those updates. Mr. Batini, list of stocks right there. Nykaa still showing a lot of decline on its stocks, despite all the, news of bonus. And we did say that, perhaps it was Nykaa's masterstroke when they announced the bonus issue of shares right when the lock-in period was going to end. So the stock prices were moving up. But as we see after the bonus getting adjusted, how do you really see Nykaa shares panning out? And for investors, does it show any kind of a promise now?
Sakshi, I'm not a immediate investors to go and jump by Nike at this level because I'm not fully convinced and of the recent movements that are taking place in the stock. So I really wait for a couple of quarters at these valuations also, uh, uh, and there is no need to get into one day get attracted just because of one day spots in the stocks right now.
Mm-hmm.
One need to take a longer term view, and we need to really know the valuations of the company before
Yeah.
taking any serious investment decisions. And what Tanya discussed about the stocks, there is a mixed kind of results movement is
Yeah.
concerned. So, to take any serious decisions in the stocks, what Tanya have discussed, investors need to wait and watch because ONGC has come up with a uh, dividend. That is the only attractive thing every year they make. The stock is not out of the woods. We need to wait for real earnings that's coming, gathering with respect to ONGC is concerned.
Right, absolutely. So those are the buzzing stocks and the suggestion from experts as to how do you really move on those stocks. Also, apart from this, Tanya talked about IRCT, but I'm also witnessing that this space of rail stocks has been buzzing off and on. Even today, you see stocks like RVNL, Rail Vikas Nigam, jumping almost 8.5 to 9 odd % right there. How are you looking at this space of rail stocks? Is it a stock or a space that investors should keep on their radar? Something changing cyclically, or is there a structural momentum there? How should investors really look at this space?
Actually, what we are observing over a period of time is there are serious reforms that are taking place with respect to railways are concerned. The government is giving a lot of importance to the private sector players to play and supply for the railways with respect to modernization of railways. So there are existing companies which are which are the vendors for the Indian railways. Okay, they are going to benefit over a period of time. The kind of the government focus with respect to modernization of railways are concerned. So this is a space we need to closely watch. We need to be with the winners and the companies with high margins. They can be seriously looked as investments, but currently the money is moving towards from PSUs and also banking. So the money flow is currently coming to the railways. So the stocks which are the suppliers and vendors to the Indian Railways. So this is the interesting space to look forward for coming few quarters, how the government is going to play their cards with respect to the railway modernization is concerned.
Okay, understood that. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Patini, for being with us and sharing all these different sectors and helping us really understand what is the right approach for investors on these particular sectors and the buzzing stocks as well, and overall markets, what can we expect going forward from here. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure speaking to you, as is always. Let's now move on to see, in fact, the markets are inching higher now. In fact, as we speak, they've moved into the green. So looks like the second half of trading session may actually pan out to be better than the first half of trading session. 61,630 for the Sensex today. Right now as we speak, 18,331 for the Nifty. Absolutely flat, but some signs of green really emerging. Whether this turns out to be a good bounce in the second half is something that we will keep an eye out on. But do stay tuned on to Business Today TV for a whole lot more update on how the markets are panning out, what kind of business coverage is something that you should be tracking so that your investments are on the top of their games as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, and also stay tuned with us and stay in touch with us through all the social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Many thanks for tuning in for now.
The men and women who built Indian industry.